So let's do this. Let's together welcome one of our founding fathers, Dr. Benjamin Franklin. Welcome, sir.
Mr. Curry, it is a distinct pleasure to be here today with you and your distinguished guest.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, and I'm going to get out of your way and allow you to go to work, and I'll be back later to test your memory, sir.
Well, do be kind, as, let's see, I was born in January 1706, so the memory does fade a bit over time. But as I said, I was born in January of 1706 in the town of Boston. I was my father's tithe, meaning I was his 10th son. And as such, he decided that I should go to Harvard and take up the profession of the clergy as his tithe to the church. When I became of age, some 5 years of age, he did enroll me in Boston's School of Latin to start my studies. But after 2 years, well, my father decided that I did not have the temperament of what he thought the temperament should be of one of the cloth. So I was removed from school. And my father thought that it was time for me to start learning a trade. Now, my family were silk and ribbon makers in the old land in England. Well, you can imagine there was not much need for that in Boston. So my family became soap and candle makers, chandlers, if you will. But my father soon learned that I did not have the temperament to make candles and soaps. So he took me about Boston, and we looked at many different trades. I talked and visited with other tradesmen and craftsmen, my father watching to try to find a trade that might suit the temperament, if you will, of a young Franklin. We visited masons, carpenters, blacksmiths, undertakers. I know at this time the term undertaker has a different meaning. For me, the undertaker is one that undertakes a project. I think today, one that starts a building project or does a building project, you might call a contractor. Well, in my time, we called them undertakers. But my father saw that there weren't many of those trades that I readily took to or seemed that interested in. So in his wisdom, he apprenticed me to my older brother, James, and I learned the trade of printing. And I must say it was a most rewarding trade. I would recommend it for many people, even today. I had quite a time with learning the trade. I took to it quite well, but I chafed greatly under the tutelage and heavy hand of my brother. I thought initially that as a brother, he would treat me maybe a little easier than some of the other apprentices, but in fact, he treated me much harsher. Many a night, I found myself on the whipping stool. But such is life, we make of it as we will. In many cases, I would take publications that would come from England, from London. I would read the articles in the magazines and the newspapers and then cut the words up. And some days later would rearrange the compositions. And I must say, in a few cases, I think I made a better composition than what was originally printed.